welcome back to TIFU, where today's user accidentally abducts an elderly woman. Today, I messed up big time by inadvertently kidnapping someone's grandmother. So, this morning, heading home after walking around catching seasonal creatures in Pokémon Go, I ran into this incredibly elegant elderly lady using a walker. And I mean, she was dressed to the nines, full makeup, perfect manicure, salon-styled hair, and wearing several flashy diamond rings and a pearl necklace. I live in a pretty rough part of town, so she looked completely out of place. There's a nicer area a few blocks away, but where we were standing, if you look down the street, you'd see people struggling with addiction and homelessness. She asked me for directions to Target. I told her it was about 1.5 miles away, but the route was full of construction and potholes, so walking there would be dangerous for her. She insisted she had to go. She told me it had been 8 months since her caretakers took her shopping. She reminded me of my own Nana, so I told her if she waited a minute, I'd grab my car and drive her. She agreed and slowly followed me. I pulled the car around, helped her into the passenger seat, tossed her walker in the trunk, and off we went to Target. On the drive, this lady, let's call her Patty, opened up about her life and how her children seemingly neglect her. Terrible, and briefly considered calling the authorities, but I didn't want to scare her. Once we parked, I realized she needed a mobility scooter. I sprinted inside to grab the last one available. Patty was thrilled, telling me she was grateful that kind people still exist in her 88 years of life. We browsed the aisles. I helped her check prices and pick out items. She chatted about her weight loss and how buying sewing supplies would give her a new hobby. Since this Target was low on sewing gear, I offered to drive her to another store further away. She declined but mentioned her phone was broken. We headed to the electronics counter. Employee there was super helpful. I offered to check her phone for malware since I used to work in banking and know a lot about scam apps. Suddenly, unknown number called her phone. I usually ignore these, but I answered just in case. It was the police. They asked who I was. I explained I was with Patty at the Target electronics desk. The officer told me to stay put and that units were en route. I told Patty what was happening, and she guessed it might be her son calling from jail. Suddenly, 4 officers swarmed us while the employee was still fixing her phone. They separated us immediately, any related organization. That's when I found out Patty's family had been frantically searching for her for the 3 hours we'd been shopping. I gave my statement, and Patty confirmed I had only helped her run errands. Her family arrived and explained the situation. It turns out Patty is a retired intelligence officer. Due to her dementia and past career, her going missing is a massive national security risk. Yikes! I handed Patty over to her grandkids, who hugged me and thanked me for keeping her safe. The police left. Patty thanked me for the lovely day out, and I got out of there fast. OP, you missed a golden opportunity to ask her if aliens are real. Today I messed up by telling my Italian mother-in-law that I was going to get some lady parts. This afternoon, my wife is Italian, and her mother doesn't speak much English. My Italian is passable. I can navigate Rome and order food, but my grammar and pronunciation are trash. Yesterday morning, my wife was on a video call with her mom, and I jumped in to say hello. She asked the usual questions. How's work? How are you? Then she asked about our weekend plans. Plained I had chores all morning, but in the afternoon, we were hoping for pi vagin, si more vagina, to say pagya, see more rain. My wife looked at me with pure horror and yanked the phone away, went silent. What? Her mom asked in English, sounding shocked. Confused, I repeated it. My wife hissed, "What are you trying to say?" "That it's going to rain later." "You mean payagya?" I heard her mother burst into hysterical laughter once she realized the mistake. It took me a second to connect the dots, and my face went beet red. I won't be speaking to her for a long time. Down in the comments, a user Sheris, practicing my terrible Spanish, told a coworker she had beautiful holes instead of beautiful eyes. Today, I messed up by leading a rebellion against my high school's dress code, only to discover the dark truth years later. 15 years ago, I caused a scene, and today I learned why I was wrong. Back in high school, we had a standard dress code until a new, young female teacher arrived. 3 months in, she implemented an extremely strict code, but only for the girls. It was early summer, had no air conditioning, and the new rules forced girls to wear baggy jeans and oversized shirts. Meanwhile, could wear whatever. As a defiant teenager, I hated this double standard. My girlfriend was miserable, and anyone who violated the code was forced to wear a humiliating, ugly brown sweatsuit. So, I protested. I started wearing women's clothing that fit the technical rules. I wore short shorts that barely covered anything, low, cut tops. I cut the sides out of tank tops. One day, I even wore a crop top and skirt to prove a point. I got away with it briefly before the detentions started piling up. I got suspended. I even had to attend summer school. I didn't stop. Eventually, most of the guys started getting dress code violations in solidarity with the girls. Shame. Outfits with pride, sweating buckets in the heat. We issued demands should be allowed to wear shorts and tank tops. Eventually, the administration caved. We won. I felt like a hero for fighting injustice. Fast forward to today. I'm back in my hometown at a local bar, and I run into that same teacher. We started chatting, and since I'm now the age she was back then, she told me the truth. There were 4 male teachers at the school who were predators. One was well known. The faculty knew about 3 others. They were taking creepy photos of the girls and making inappropriate comments. Teacher had gone to the school board with evidence, but they refused to investigate. She went to the police, but nothing happened. Desperate to protect the female students, she enforced the strict dress code to cover them up. She couldn't legally say why. Eventually, those creepers were caught and fired. But looking back, I realized my crusade for freedom actually put the girls back in the line of fire. In an update, OP mentions, well-known creep was actually a student favorite because he was funny. He literally had a policy where if you wore a low, cut shirt and bent over to hand in a test, you got extra credit. He did it for guys too, to cover his tracks. We all thought it was a joke back then. It's wild what people get away with when they are charismatic. Today, I messed up by finding out the secret side effect of cough drops. I woke up with a throat that felt like I'd swallowed broken glass. I had a busy work day and didn't want to sound like a chainsaw. So I bought a jumbo bag of cough drops and went to the office. At first, it was fine. Every time my throat tickled, meeting, lozenge. Phone call, lozenge, just sitting there. Lozenge. I wasn't counting them, basically just minty candy, right? By the afternoon, my stomach started making noises like a washing machine full of rocks, from mild discomfort to emergency evacuation in seconds. Myself sprinting to the restroom with Olympic speed. While sitting on the porcelain throne, regretting my entire existence, I Googled the ingredients. Turns out artificial sweeteners in these things act as a potent laxative if you eat too many. And I had eaten way too many. So, pro-tippy cough drops clear your sinuses, but they will also clear your bowels. Today, I messed up by accidentally flashing my office crush. I have never been so embarrassed. Happened 2 hours ago. I'm 26 and I walk to work. It's been freezing lately. Since I'm not used to the snow, I layer up like crazy. Also, I have a crush on a coworker, so I change my outfit about 3 times before leaving the house. Today, the weather was unpredictable. I started with a ton of layers, but decided to ditch a few before heading out. I walked to work, arrived, and immediately started overheating because the office heater was on full blast. I went into my office, and my crush walked in to update me on a project. Trying to listen while cooling down, I started shedding layers. Gone! Scarf! Gone! Thick sweater? Gone? Cardigan? Gone? Here's the problem. This morning, a T-shirt on under the cardigan. But that was one of the layers I decided to remove before leaving the house. So, under my cardigan, I was only wearing a bra. I didn't realize this until I had the cardigan pulled halfway off my shoulders. I felt a breeze on my stomach and thought, wait, why is it cold? I froze and yanked the cardigan back down. My crush stopped talking. His eyes went wide, then he stared at the ceiling. The silence was deafening. His point of view, I walked in and just started stripping. Oh my God, I stammered. I am so sorry. I had a shirt on. I started nervous laughing. He was too stunned to speak. He mumbled that he'd update me later and practically ran out of the room. I slumped into my chair and wanted to disappear. Update. I went to his office later to clear the air. I explained it was a genuine mistake due to layering for the cold. He said it was fine. He understood, wasn't awkward about it. I think I'm safe from HR, but my ego is bruised. Today I messed up by getting an enema from a water slide. You know those drop slides where you stand in a capsule, drops out, and you plummet? Yeah. I feel emotionally ready to share this now. My fiancé used to be a photographer for a resort with a huge water park, so we got in for free. It was a hot day, and I found the most intense slide there. You stand in a tube, and they drop you 90 feet straight down. Being an adrenaline junkie, I had to do it. I climbed the stairs, waited in line, and stepped into the capsule. The operator told me to cross my legs at the ankles. Now, I'm a big guy, and that felt uncomfortable, so I thought, I'm good. I stood there, heart pounding, legs uncrossed. The operator hit the button. The floor vanished, and I fell. Immediately, I understood why they tell you to cross your legs. Water shot up my backside with the force of a fire hose. I swear I could taste chlorine. As I rocketed down the slide, I regretted every decision leading to this moment. When I reached the bottom, I sat in the splash pool, feeling completely violated. I stood up, and a mix of warm water, pool chemicals, and biological material out of me like a geyser. I scrambled out of the pool and ran to the bathroom, leaving a trail of brown water behind me. The operator looked horrified. They had to close the slide for cleaning of the story "Cross your legs." Also, organization. Cross your arms over your chest so you don't rip your fingernails off on the seams of the slide. Listen to the lifeguards, folks. That was our TIFU. If you enjoyed this, check out my Patreon for bonus episodes, any related organization, and make sure to subscribe because I upload new Reddit stories every single day.